Hello, Satnam. Happy Saturday. I'm just going to text there we go, today's mantra in the chat box. All right. Hello. Welcome. Happy Saturday. This is Kundalini Yoga with Looney. I'm here every Saturday live streaming. And we've been doing this for quite a while. It's been fun. It's been, just a extension of what we had already cultivated in space, in studio on Saturdays to begin with. We were really creating a beautiful community. Those of you who live around the South Bay area of LA, we were really starting to build this very beautiful in-studio Kundalini yoga community at YogaWorks in Playa Vista. There'd be such a consistent group of us showing up every Saturday, chanting together, and just being in beautiful space and feeling transformed when we leave the room, right? It changes your whole experience. And being disconnected from that, for over a year, which we all have, makes it that much more sacred. But being able to then bring it online and still derive so many of the benefits from the practice, doing it virtually, it's just a blessing. And, it looks as if online classes and in-studio classes are going to, have space for each other. I think there's a definitive benefit to both. The efficiency, the lack of having to deal with traffic when you practice online, and stuff like that. So it's just been cool to experiment with this. We're here every Saturday practicing Kundalini yoga, chanting together, meditating together. And if you like practicing with me here on Saturdays on YouTube, I have 4 live stream classes that I teach during the week on my platform, Yoga Club, on caroluni.com. We do Kundalini classes, we do Vinyasa flow classes, and it's just a really wonderful way to connect. And being somewhat different through Zoom than on YouTube, there's the way to see each other and connect and really develop tighter knit personal relationships. And I think that's been so integral during this time. Many people are kind of burned out with connecting electronically. And I think, so much of it is focused on work, right? So there's a bit of a resistance, there's a bit of an exhaustion. But when you can step out of that space and get into virtual community in a really sacred, loving, attentive way, it's a blessing. So, join me here on Saturdays. You can join me during the week on Yoga Club. We've just started our 40-day meditation journey focused on connecting to our Buddha nature. We're working with the mantra Om Mani Padme Hum, and we're working with malas, and it's just been a great kickoff and great energy to get started with this beautiful mantra. Our next journey will be beginning probably sometime in early July. So stay tuned for that. It'll happen like that. It always does. If you feel inclined to make an energy exchange and you'd like to donate to today's class, you can always find me on PayPal under karalooneyyoga@gmail.com. Excuse me, right on time with the coughs. You can also find me on Square Cash and on Zelly. All right, guys. Well, I'd love to know who's here with me today. Let's get started. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to put pause or anything. All right, let's go. Now, what we've been working with for the past, week or so of classes is releasing the subconscious, right? Releasing subconscious blocks. And I put some thought into it this morning, what is the process of literally, if you could feel what it feels like, for example, to know what it feels like to start to release the subconscious blocks, right? What is, I can conceptualize that, but what does that actually feel like? And I tried to write that down today. I tried to kind of set, at least from my experience, right? And I know it's all relative, but perhaps you can also tap into this description of experience and understand that how Kundalini yoga then does help you, and meditation in general and yoga does help you release subconscious blocks, and what the unveiling appears like as that takes place in your life, right? So that's kind of going to be what my Dharma talk's about today. We're going to work on a Kriya set that helps release, obviously, subconscious blocks and bring in a state of positivity. We're also going to do a fun meditation to kind of synchronize the mind. All right? So let's tune in. Rubbing our hands together, stimulating 72,000 energy channels. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. I bow to the divine teacher within. We're calling on the high self. We're calling on that witness of high consciousness. Let's bring the thumbs into the sternum, shoulders down away from the ears. Let's take a few breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. I bow to the divine teacher within. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose to begin. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Arengure Name, Jugarengure Name, Sat Gure Name, Siddhi Gurudev Name. Arengure Name, Jugarengure Name, Sat Gure Name, Siddhi Gurudev Name. Arengure Name, Jugarengure Name, Sat Gure Name, Siddhi Gurudev Name. Take a deep breath in. Suspend it. And exhale, release. These little coughs that creep up on me these days. Just when I think it's me, right? I'm like, ugh, when are these allergies going to end? Literally, I grew up in upstate New York. You can't find more pollen than you find up there. And I made it through okay, like with a sniffle here or there. But just this year in California, where a lot of this stuff is not, I guess the pollen and stuff maybe isn't native to what I'm used to. But my allergies have been unfreaking believable this year. And I was like, it's gotta be just me. Like maybe there's something up with my house. Maybe I've developed an allergy to my dog. Like what is going on? And then I just read like, you know how like you have these neighborhood things where messages, and most of it's garbage, but sometimes you have something, you see something really neat come up or nice or whatever. But I'm just seeing across the board, like allergists, looking for an allergist. I'm like, oh, okay, so it's not me. It's not just me. So it's not the best to be plagued by allergies when you try and talk for a living. Anyway, talking today about releasing subconscious blocks. This has been our work all week in Kundalini Yoga, just releasing some of those patterns that we are not even aware of, that they're under the surface about. And, you know, my experience was when I started meditating on a regular basis and practicing Kundalini Yoga, I started to experience and sense this releasing of layers, literally like, and I've seen it in books before where people refer to it as that. I'm like, oh, that's kind of beautiful wordsmithing. But from a from a sensory experiential level, it really does. I understand why that word was chosen time and time again. It really does feel like a sheathing, a releasing is taking place when this happens. And so I thought I'd talk a little bit today about what happens on a particular level when we start to release subconscious blocks, and how that unveils itself within us. So realizing our true nature, connecting to higher awareness, can be accessed when we train the mind to play the game the soul wants to play, right? Because the mind is here like just looking to attach to something. And if we can train the mind to attach to what the soul wants, then we can really allow the mind to be the master of the higher, or be mastered by the higher self. So first we have to come into contact with the soul, right? To be able to affix the mind to it, it can't just be a concept. The soul must be an experience. And so how do we go through the process of connecting the mind with the soul? We need to reclaim the soul. Soul reclamation is what it's called. And what we normally do is we play the game that the mind wants to play. So the ego is, the mind is just attaching to whatever projection or desire or repulsion that we have at the time. And this tends to create a lot of suffering for ourselves and for others, right? We become enslaved by the mind. Through creating a relationship with the mind by observing it, as if watching it from a higher vantage point, like we do when we're in meditation, the mind comes to know the soul and experiences its truth, right? Through this period of observance and reflection and non-judging and just being, the mind starts to kind of just fall in this nebulous space, like, okay. And then all of a sudden it can just start to settle into the awareness that you're cultivating. In this higher awareness, the mind can begin to release then that which disconnects the mind from the soul. When the mind is in alignment with the soul, it's connected to the higher self. And then it recognizes all the deceptions. It recognizes all the self-deceptions, all the lies, all the inauthenticities, all the repressions, all the resentments. And it starts to allow them to release, or at least gain distance from them from an observational standpoint. And this is when it feels like you're shedding off layers. You're like, oh, okay, so God, whatever I used to hold so strongly to is now all of a sudden just, I'm seeing it from a different level, layer releases, and so it goes. Now the mind is very efficient and will recognize patterns of repetition in our thoughts, in our actions, and in our beliefs. So the types of thoughts, actions, and beliefs we entertain and that we repeat, the more efficiently that pattern will be allowed to repeat within the mind, right? It's always looking for the path of least resistance, right? And if decisions are always made in this way, right, very little deviation, then the mind starts to create a program, for a lack of better words, that facilitates making that choice because the odds are in favor that it'll go that way, right? If we repeat life-depleting patterns, whether they be through thought, through action, through our beliefs, life-depleting patterns will take hold, like disease, right? Dysfunction. In this process of mental patterning is what's called creating a neural pathway, right? Going in the path of least resistance, hedging bets in the direction of that which is most oftenly voted for, Now, neural pathways are not good or bad. They just are what they are. It all depends on the pattern that's projected on through the mind and through all the things that create blocks, unfulfilled desires, resentments, all of these things. Now, meditation, right? Mantra, which means mind liberation, pranayama and kriya help us energetically connect to a place or to a vibration that allows us to purge, to release, and neutralize some of these disserving patterns that we acquire and that we maintain. when that stockpile of ill-serving patterns begins to diminish, right, as the layers start to come off, a clearer, more sane, realistic, miraculous, and alive reality begins to emerge for us. You're like, whoa, okay. And then the more you choose in the direction that allows you to access that space of awareness, the more the neural pathway will go in that direction, right? And so this is how we start to entrain the mind. This is when the mind begins to experience the soul. When we continuously vote in the direction or choose in the direction of that which affirms life. And when the mind comes into contact with the soul, the mind is unable to argue with or deny its hierarchy and its truth, right? The mind becomes humbled when it connects to the soul. It's humbled. It's almost anesthetized, or it's hypnotized, right? It feels so good to be in the presence of the soul, so the mind wants to kind of hang out and be cozy there. And the more that we continue to allow ourselves that time and that space to sit in meditation, to work on accessing higher consciousness, the more the mind can start to experience that reality, and thus a neural pathway is created. So, and this is how we start to come into contact again, as I mentioned, with the soul. This whole process is what begins the process of what's called self-actualization, right? You're becoming in actual awareness and presence with your truer nature. Some have called this serving the will of God, right? The will of God is constantly, or the will of creation, if you want to take it less dogmatic, the will of the universe is constantly vibrating within our being, right? That is the soul kind of hanging out there. And then when the mind can access that, that's like, oh, okay, I see, you got this. You know what I mean? So when the mind experiences the soul, the mind cannot deny that the soul is the master. So the work that we're going to do today is going to put us in a position, in a receptivity to connect to that space of observance and allow the mind to start to develop a familiarity. And the more we do that, the better the outcome is, right? Because it's a constant facilitation of growth and life affirmation. All right, now let's start with Sufi circles. I need to turn on my speaker. We're going to do some chanting today. We have our mantra of the week. Let's see. All right, hands on the shins, eyes at the third eye center. Inhale forward, exhale back. And just opening up the body. See how you can release the tension, but still move, still have action. Still putting the body into action, but almost as if it's a receptive action. You're waiting for the body to tell you what rhythm to apply, how much effort and ease. Just feel your way through it. Deepening the breath, pulling it in through the nose and out through the nose. Eyes are closed and drawn up to third eye center. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold center and reverse. Inhale forward, exhale back. Loosening up through the shoulders and the neck. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Flex the spine forward to inhale, round to exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Eyes are at third eye. Feeling the body open up, feeling that central channel. Free up, charge up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, lift through the crown of the head. Hands are on the shoulders. Shoulders down away from the ears. Inhale, twist left. Exhale, twist right. Feeling that beautiful rotation. Drawing energy up into the heart, drawing breath into the lungs. Lift those hands off the shoulders. Gyan Mudra. Good, and reach those arms up 60 degrees. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reach the arms up center and high. And then sweep through the energy field. Inhale and exhale. Eyes at third eye. Reaching through the fingers. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, reach arms high. Exhale, hinge forward, come on to tabletop. Hands are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. All right, here we go, cat-cow. Inhale and exhale. Feeling the whole length of the spine. We're waking up the snake. Nice and gentle, nice and natural. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, chin and tail. Exhale, round, tuck and down. Sitting back, child's pose. Hips to heels. Forward to the ground. Just take a few breaths in through the nose. And then rise it up. Let's come in. Hi, Henny. Let's come into a seated cross-legged position. Oh, sorry, babe. All right. Now we're going to start with a meditation. I'm going to have my palms facing up, like I'm holding on to a tray. My posture is nice and straight. My chin is to my chest. There's a angular flexing in my elbows and in my wrists. Shoulders are down and away. Eyes are at third eye. We're going to take some long, deep breaths, focusing on the energy in the palms of the hands. Inhaling. Exhaling. With your inhales and exhales, 5 to 7 seconds. Just be aware of every moment that you're breathing. Right, not wishing the count away, but being very present with every count of 1 through 5 or 1 through 7. Starting to just experience yourself inside of yourself. As my dog licks her butthole. Keep going. such a beautiful space to be in. We never allow ourselves in here because we always have too much to do. Right? We're too busy to sit in presence. That's only a construct of the mind. We're choosing not to be present. We're not too busy to be present. It requires trust and relaxation, presence and awareness. Now take a deep breath in through the nose. Suspend the breath. And gently release. Keep those hands exactly as they are. Keep yourself in this space of awareness. And as we chant the sound, HUD, HUD, H-A-R, hitting the tongue and the roof of the mouth, stimulating glands in the brain, we move the fingers in and out. HUD, 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 okay? Let the belly pump. Shoulders down and away. Here we go. Inhale through the nose. Side out. Here we go. HUD, 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 HUD. Allow it to hypnotize you. Every part of you is in this vibration. HUD, 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 HUD. Keep going. HUD, 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 HUD. Last 10. HUD, 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 HUD. Inhale. Feel the energy in the hands. Suspend the breath. Lengthen the neck. Relax the shoulders. And exhale. All right. Hope you were able to get out of that what you needed to get out of that. I certainly did. All right. Now this rest of the Kriya helps us expel or release negative memories, negative patterns. Call in this positive state of thriving. Make a palm, cupped palm. I feel a tickle going on. Cupped hands. Exhale with the tongue. Okay? Inhale through the nose as the arms come back. Up, back to the ribs. Exhale. Release the tongue. Think of where grief sits in the body, right? We're told that grief sits in the body, right in the lungs. So you can imagine then energetically how this particular breath technique can help rid us of the energetic blocks that are caused by grief, sorrow, negative patterns of behavior. It's clearing out the throat chakra, it's clearing out the solar plexus energetically in that second chakra of creativity. Allow yourself to get really natural with it. Right? Get out of the mind, get out of the performer, and just do it as a kindergartner would do it, right? Animated, expressed, passionate, present. We allow ourselves to access this very vulnerable and true reflection of who we are without preoccupation or premeditation. We're in peace. Let's go for 30 more seconds. Now, inhale, leave those elbows up high near the temples. Suspend the breath, root lock, third eye. Exhale. Release. Just be in awareness, be in presence. Notice how participating in this work gives you sort of a crisper observer. All right. Onward and upward. All right, let's take those arms up. I'm going to take my fingers around my thumbs. Shoulders are down and away. And I'm going to roll my arms nice and high up in big circles. Okay, think of yourself as, remember Wonder Woman had that lasso of light? Right? Think of having two big lassos of light up in your hand. I think it was a lasso of light, or maybe an invisible lasso. Either way. Let's call on our inner Wonder Woman. If that's not a good symbol to connect to, then think of it as two vortexes of energy. And in these vortexes of energy, the shoulders are relaxed and the arms are straight like two big drink stirrers, just mixing up energy around you, charging the energy field around the body. Oh, this empty space of potential. Let's charge that energy around our space that's affected, that is in potentiality. Eyes are a third eye center, and the breath is self-regulated. Stay in this observant space, even observing the discomfort but not judging it, not falling to the will of its direction. Just being in ultimate receptivity. Let's go for one more minute, guys. See what you can transform in your mind about this, right? You're very worried about your body, I imagine. Shoulders, arms. Is this going to cause permanent damage? All sorts of things that we come to mind with, and how to back off our full expression of energy. Injuries excluded here. You already have an injury. Now let's go for the last 10 seconds. See how you can really charge up around the sides of your body here. Eyes the third eye, feeling the energy above the head. Let's take a deep inhale through the nose and suspend the breath. Exhale. Keep the posture. Inhale. Suspend. And exhale, release. Just pausing for a moment. It's interesting, sometimes we say to ourselves, well, I can't meditate if there's too much noise. I can't meditate if somebody's talking. I can't meditate if the right song isn't playing, and consider that place that you're acknowledging that has limitations might not be meditation, right? When we are in meditation, it's not a sound that gets us out of meditation. It's the mind that believes that the sound or the experience has power over its ability to be present. We start to just gain a deeper awareness. All right, now hands are on shins. And think about, normally we would do, when we do spinal flexes or we rock forward and back, we lift through the heart and we round through the back. We're going to do something different this time. Instead of the waistline being the space at which we bend, we're going to lift and lengthen through the spine and just rock forward and back on the sits bones. Okay? So kind of like a weeble wobbles that doesn't fall down. We are rocking on that rounded bowl of the sits bones. Eyes at third eye center. Okay? Inhale as you rock back. Exhale as you rock forward. Root lock is nice and strongly engaged, and eyes are at third eye center. And you may travel around the room. You may open your eyes and be on a completely different side of the room than you started on. That has happened to me before. Completely rock my way out of the camera or something like that. So just allow yourself to be here. And if you move your way into the kitchen, then that's cool too. like you are cradling your soul here. The body is the cradle, and that awareness is what we are nurturing. Let's come center, inhale. Suspend the breath, shoulders down away, lengthen the spine. Exhale. Again, inhale. And exhale. Just be present for a moment. And then gently come laying down on your back. The good old days are meant to be happening. Come lay down onto your back, feet and thighs turn out naturally. Okay. Please allow your feet and thighs to turn out naturally. Tailbone turns down toward the heels. Shoulders are down away from the ears, and the chin tucks to the chest. And jaw softens. And tongue relaxes in the mouth. Ears fall back. And eyes sink back. Gently wiggling your fingers and your toes. Draw your knees into your chest. Wrap your forearms around your shins and rock from side to side. And roll onto one side into fetal position. While you're down there, take a deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out. And use that top hand to press yourself up. Seated, cross-legged position. Welcome back. Okay. Our mantra of the week. Gobinde Mukande, Udare Apare, Haryang Karyang, Nirname Akame. This is a mantra that is known to help us clear the subconscious, unearth sort of some deep-seated blocks, help us gain awareness between the higher self and the mind. Excuse me. And the words Gobinde Mukande, Udare Apare, Haryang Karyang, Nirname Akame translate to sustainer, liberator, enlightener, infinite, destroyer, creator, nameless, desireless. So if you think of all those qualities, they're all qualities of a higher perspective, right? Of an alignment with nature, right? Even to the point where destroyer is referenced, desireless, right? Those can seem a little foreign to us or a little threatening on a mental level, but from a level of our existential experience, the reality of science, these are fundamentals. Okay, so some would say that that is God, that is expressions, words used to express the qualities of God or higher consciousness. Gyan Mudra. Eyes up at third eye center. Gobinde Mukande, Udare Apare, Haryang Karyang, Nirname Akame. Let me find it. Okay, hang on a second. I had it a moment ago. There we go. Sadasatkar's version, my favorite. It's nice and slow, it's very soothing. Brings you back to your body, very grounding. The grounded and also able to see from a higher perspective. Gobinde Mukande, Udare Apare, Haryang Karyang, Nirname Akame.
Gobinde Mukande, Udare Apare, Haryang Karyang, Nirname Akame. Gobinde Mukande, Udare Apare, Haryang Karyang, Nirname Akame. Gobinde Mukande, Udare Apare, Haryang Karyang, Nirname Akame. Gobinde Mukande, Udare Apare, Haryang Karyang, Nirname Akame. Gobinde Mukande, Udareya Pare Hariyam Kariyam Ninameya Kame Govinde Mukande Udareya Pare Hariyam Kariyam Niname Kame Govinde Mukande Udare Apare Hariyam Kariyam Niname Kame.
Take a deep breath in through the nose. Suspend the breath. Just feel the softness, feel the relaxation in your joints, the length in your spine, presence in your mind, and release. And let's bring the hands to the heart center, rubbing the palms together. Let's close out with one round of the long time sun, and then 3 rounds of Satnam, declaring truth is our identity. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose to begin. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way on. Satnam. 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 Take a deep breath in through the nose. Suspend it. And bringing folded hands to third eye center, blessing that you'll be guided by intuition and have the wisdom and courage to follow it. Exhale, bowing forward. Satnam, namaste. Thank you, everybody. We ended really early today. I had no intention for that. It's so interesting how time is so elusive. It felt like a normal class length. Let's see, we got some messages here. Hey, Paresh, self-actualization, becoming in actual awareness of self. Love it. You got this, Satnam. Thanks, Paresh. I'm glad you came today. Good to have you here, my friend. C.S. Scott, happy Saturday. All right, everybody. Well, see you here every other Saturday except for next Saturday. Next Saturday, well, the Friday before, I'm getting my second vaccination shot. So I'm leaving Saturday as an open day to do whatever happens as a result of my second shot, which will likely be sleep. So actually, next Saturday is Mercury retrograde. So what I'll do is I have a class video on Mercury retrograde. So I will post that. So if you want to continue practicing with me on Saturday, you'll have that video on Saturday for Mercury retrograde, because that starts and ends on June 22nd. So get ready, my friends. Things are going to start happening in threes: technology, travel, all those funny things, communication. So next Saturday, expect a video instead of a live class. And if you want to practice with me during the week, I have yoga club classes 4 days a week, live 4 days a week classes on my platform, on my website, caroluni.com. It's called Yoga Club. I teach 2 vinyasa flow classes, 2 Kundalini classes. I make the video library accessible. And it's great. There's tons of different membership options. You could check it out or drop in anytime you like to any class. That all can be found under the Yoga Club classes section of my website. Next 40-day journey will begin in the beginning of July-ish. We're heading out of the station with regard to our current 40-day meditation focused on our Buddha nature. And if you feel like you want to give an energy exchange today and donate to today's class, you can do so through PayPal under caroluniyoga@gmail.com. You can also find me on Square Cash and Zelly. All right, everybody. Well, I hope you enjoyed yourself today and cleaned out that subconscious. Think about getting the mind in alignment with the soul, right? When the mind can understand the experience of the soul, not just the concept of the soul, the mind starts to change. All right, everybody, Satnam, have a wonderful rest of your day. See you in 2 Saturdays. Bye.